What's up, guys? Nate Petrosky from Narrowway Homestead. It's another comment video. You guys ever notice these big YouTubers and all these other creators just don't ever get out there and read the comments and ever respond to you guys? I do read your comments more than you think. I just don't always hit the like button. I don't always type a comment. Oftentimes I'm walking from one building to another or in the middle of doing something, but I read a lot of them. But I want to be proactive in responding, and you guys have some great comments, questions, and it makes good content. So let's get into the second comment response video. I've actually got two comments. They're both fairly related, so I'm going to talk about both of them in one video. The first comment is from Cameron. Hey, Nate Petrosky, I have a question for you. What are some of the biggest things to worry about when starting a construction business? I've been thinking about starting my own up here in Maine. I've been working construction now for 5 years, but I think it's time to set up and do my own. What are some of the things I should do before I start up on my own? For those of you that don't know my background, I used to be a contractor. I worked in the construction trade for 15, 16 years. The first 9 years I worked for a custom home builder. I was an employee. And the last 7-ish years, I started out on my own, and I went into rot repair almost first, window replacement, door replacement, repairing rot, diagnosing water leaks, and then I moved into interior renovation. It was a whole lot better in my opinion. I didn't have to work around the weather quite so much. I was able to really be creative, and my experience just allowed me to do a really good job at it. Right off the bat, one of the biggest things you have to worry about is making sure that you can actually do the work. That's the easiest thing. Most people thinking of starting a business know how to do the work. I'm sure you are very familiar with doing construction work. The difficult parts are the parts that the boss is doing that you're maybe not seeing as much. It just depends on the way your business or your company is structured. But when you start up on your own, it's usually a one-man show. Unless you can land a big job, but then you don't always want to just grab employees right away. It depends on the type of construction. If you're going to be framing houses, you need guys. So I'm going to try to cover it all. If you're doing some small level stuff that one or two guys can handle, you're going to be doing a lot of job bidding, a lot of job estimates. You're going to have to know the price of materials. You're going to have to be collecting or making your own invoices. You're going to have to make sure that the customer actually pays. If it's a big enough job and you have draws, you're going to have to get those draws when they come up. You're also going to make sure you don't have to. A lot of contractors work just straight off of credit, and they get themselves in sticky binds sometimes. It's so much better to just have some kind of capital to work with in the bank that you can kind of be behind on a draw and, do okay. Obviously, I quit being a contractor at some point about 5 years ago, because I was preparing the homestead. Wasn't quite 5 years ago yet. I was wrapping up a couple jobs. I got burned out on it. I had really awesome subcontractors lined up to help me with work. We would knock out kitchens, finish basements, all these jobs. We would do it efficiently. They were all good guys that were great to be in the house with the customers, and they weren't just cursing and throwing stuff, and you know what the construction world can be like. But yeah, they were great guys. The work was good. I wasn't sure and comfortable enough to get somebody else to take care of the paperwork part. I had to go do the estimates. I had to, because I'm the one that knew the business. And in renovation work, it's really hard, unless somebody's very, very experienced, to even have somebody go and do that. So it depends on the type of thing you're planning to get into with construction. The other thing that took a boatload of time that also frustrated me and ultimately led me to just say I had to do something else, I kind of ended up with my own warehouse, because I was wasting time going to stores multiple times a day, or even once a day was a waste of time. So I needed my own stack of 2x. I needed, every profile of trim in stock on my own shelf. I could finish trim. I could work it to different shapes. I could alter stuff just depending what I was doing. And if I spent 40 hours out in the field, it was 80 hours a week of work. So every hour I spent out in the field, there was another hour behind it. And it just became a ton, and I couldn't figure out how to scale a renovation business and still keep my customer base and my niche, because ultimately what I realized is I sold my customers on me and what I could do, And if I just started throwing other people in there, I just didn't see it working. I didn't really see a way to scale my business and keep doing it the way it was. I would have had to change the way it was operating, and that wasn't how I gained all my customers. So you can see some of the struggles I was dealing with. You may, now if you're trying to just go into framing houses or something, honestly, that is so much different from what I did, even though it's still starting a construction business. You need to have a good crew of guys lined up. You've got to be able to pay them. Your overhead gets big really fast. The numbers get big really fast. You mess up on one job, you don't bid it properly. You have to go back and correct things because your guys are inexperienced or you're not an experienced crew working together yet. This stuff can it can absolutely get you. You can lose tens of thousands so fast it's not even funny. Does that mean you shouldn't do it? No. But that is one of the big risks with that, and that is very scalable. It's much easier to scale than the type of construction business I was in. You could actually work yourself almost out of it by sending crews out to frame once you get them good and going. It can grow fast. You have to know what your competition is. When you're in the renovation business, there's probably not that much competition. If you're good at what you do, you will have work for sure, because everybody has to have a home to live in. Even, people renting, the landlords own the home. I wouldn't recommend working for landlords most of the time, because most of it is bottom of the barrel scrapings, get it done cheap, just slap it on and don't do a good job. Shoot for the top of the market, whatever you're in, shoot for the top. Try to be the highest end renovation contractor. It's going to take a while to build a reputation, all that good stuff. But yeah, hopefully all that helps. Mostly I'm just relying on my experience. I've talked with a ton of older contractors. I've worked with a bunch of them. A lot of guys were, 60, 65 years old, still in the trade, still laying flooring, sometimes subbing for me. I have a lot of exposure to experience, and 15 years of experience isn't anything to sneeze at either, especially when you're working 80-hour weeks for the last 7 years of it. All right, that brings me to the second comment. Let me get my other phone. I'm using it as a teleprompter because, it's not on my screen, but it's on yours. Alex says, "Hey Nate, I run a small construction company, more like a handyman business. I'm really tired of chasing the dollar because I never know when or how I'm going to get my next job. Any advice?" And yes, I have advice for you. In a small construction business / handyman business, they're very similar. Renovation and handyman business is kind of similar. Just renovation just gets you into a lot more drastic stuff. Tearing out an entire kitchen and putting it back, moving walls, but they're very similar. And really, you need word of mouth advertising. That is what makes or breaks small businesses most of the time. Your customer has to love what you did, so that both of their neighbors on either side of them are calling you next week. Now, is it ever going to work? Is it always going to work like that? No, not always. When you first start out, honestly, you can do word of mouth right when you first start out. Just do a really good job. Pick up after yourself. It's just the little things impress customers the most. So if you are putting down drop cloths, if you're putting stuff over your boots, even if your boots are clean, super clean, just the act of looking like you care for the customer, and taking time to do stuff, which if you are taking the time, that means you actually do care about the customer. So it still works. Even if it's not muddy outside, you put down drop cloths, you clean up your mess perfectly. All that stuff goes a long way, and it just turns into referrals. It turns into next jobs. The other side of this, because I've already talked about the business a lot, is the personal life side of a contractor or handyman. Your personal finances matter a ton. If you're chasing the dollar, it's because you need money. And who doesn't? Especially in the rat race, in the construction world, of course you need money. If you cut your personal expenses to a point that you don't have to take every job that comes up because you're getting referrals, because you're going above and beyond what every other handyman / contractor is doing, you get to turn down jobs you don't want to do. Or there's jobs you don't want to do, and you just bid them way higher because you're just like, I don't want to do this. Here's a number. And then in the back of your mind, you're just like, I hope they never go with that. And then when they go with it, you get paid good, even though you didn't like what you had to do. Or, maybe the customer was super picky and you were just sure they were going to be really picky. But if you're getting paid extra, just do it. and take the extra time. People don't realize how the extra little things just add up. But really, your personal finances on the back end, if you're not making a brand new car payment, you're not paying on all this stuff, you're not living in a place you can barely afford, you're not going out to eat every other day. I mean, if you're going out to eat even every lunch, 5 days a week, adds up. Keeping your business to not need to have a job today so that you can eat tomorrow is huge. And I get that it's a struggle. When I first started contracting, I had 20, 30 hours a week of work, and that just forced me to tighten my belt as much as possible. I was lucky I didn't have any vehicle payments. I already had my house. It wasn't a big, glorious house. I was living well within my means. It allowed me to survive my slow startup of my company. And eventually I got to a point where I didn't need money, but I bid every job anyway. And then I got jobs I didn't want, and I ended up getting paid very well for them. Anyway, hope that helps. Hopefully you guys didn't mind me doing 2 comments, 1 video, but they were so closely related, and I really couldn't choose between which comment to go for, so that's what I did. Thanks for watching. If you guys like this, leave me a comment. Let me know you did, and do keep an eye out on my videos. If you have a comment to leave, type it out very clearly, eloquently, or as best as you can. If it's a hastily written comment, it's very unlikely it's going to end up in one of these videos. But if you've got a really good question, or even just a statement, doesn't have to be a question. You don't have to ask me questions. If it just makes me say, hey, and gets my mind going, it'll make it into one of these. So I'm going to try to release these every Wednesday at about 7 Eastern time. Keep us going for a bit. Just see what you guys feel. How you guys feel. I want to connect with the community better. Ultimately, that's the whole goal. You guys have built a community around watching my videos, and I would like to be involved and make you guys realize that I care when you guys watch my videos, when you comment, every like. I just can't get to them all, but this is me making an effort. Thanks for watching.